I'm Johnny Hawkins.
And I'm Daniel Oliver from Nothing More, and you're watching Midwest Music Scene.
Cheap sets, fake towns, big breaths, high times, pimped rides, lost days, blackout nights.
Hey guys, this is David with Midwest Music Scene, and we're here with Nothing More. What's going on, guys?
Nothing much.
Not
We're
much,
a little
staying
cold.
warm.
Yeah.
Stay warm in Tulsa.
I mean, it's cold out here. So, you guys are just been doing a few shows here and there right now. So, like, how's this little run been going so far?
Awesome. It's kind of all over the place, but we were in Sacramento recently at a big festival, and that was really awesome. Did a bunch of dates out there in Vegas and Arizona as well, and I don't know where we played after that. Came back to Texas, our home state, and did some shows. Now we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And cold as ever.
I mean, it's getting so cold around here. I'm sick of it already.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, right. So speaking of that huge festival, that was Aftershock Festival. I mean, you had like Avenged Sevenfold, you had Korn, you had Shinedown, you had all the biggest names in rock. I mean, how was that? I mean, that's got to be like a surreal experience to go out for that huge crowd.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was really cool. I mean, it's the thing that we've dreamed of since we were kids. So it was really cool walking out on stage and getting to actually do that. But it was nerve-wracking too at the same time. But
yeah, and backstage was really neat too, because they had us all in these kind of portable green rooms, you know, and we were right next to Megadeths, and you know, walking to play our set, Jonathan Davis is just like sitting out front of his, you know, and not that I have anything to say to him, but it was just cool to see him in real life.
Yeah.
So did you guys get to stick around and watch some bands? I mean, I know you guys played both days, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you guys had to stay and watch bands. That was a dumb
Yeah. We got to be, actually, when Korn played, we got to, there's like a barricade, you know, like let's say it's right here, and then the stage is about 10, 20 feet away. So there's this whole little front area that only press pass people get to be at. So we got to stand right there. So literally, Korn was like, you know, from me to this van kind of thing. It was surreal to see them on that big of a stage that close.
Yeah, right.
But we also saw A Day to Remember, Asking Alexandria played right after us. That was pretty interesting. I'm trying to remember who else we saw. There was so many bands.
Well, who are your favorites that you saw, like, from the 2 days? Like, who had the coolest set? Like,
Well, day one is kind of interesting because we made it to the festival and the van actually broke down in the parking lot. So I was like tanked the first day underneath it. You know, didn't meet up with the band until, you know, much later.
He was under the van that whole day, so
yeah, I didn't get to see too much. And then when I finally came out, I wasn't too much feeling like rocking, more like socializing with people backstage, But
there were a lot of good bands. I mean, I remember A Day to Remember, they did that big bubble thing where the singer's out in the big ball on top of the crowd. Avenged Sevenfold, I only got to hear them, but they had... I knew they were playing because I kept getting freaked out because there was pyro that kept exploding, and I was trying to have a conversation backstage with someone. And
you keep jumping.
every 3 words, you're like, God,
sorry.
I know, because they have tons of pyro in their shows, man. It's ridiculous.
It's like Halloween and fire on stage is what I like to describe the shows. But I got to see POD. That gave me chills just because I remember their Elements of Southtown record back when I was in high school, and that was like big record for me. And so when they were playing Southtown and some of these older songs, I don't know, feeling like a high school kid again.
Man, I hear you. We one of our first shows we did, they opened up for 3 Days Grace right across the street at the Brady Theater, and they killed it, man. They are
they're
good live, and they sound on point with everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, they were intense.
Yeah, they were. So what are your plans after this? I mean, basically this year. I mean, this is what you guys are doing for the rest of the year, right? Just a few shows and...
Yeah. I'm probably not the right guy to ask. I used to do booking in the band like a few years ago, and now I just I try to close my eyes to the calendar and just show up in places and be like, what are we playing tonight? It's fun.
We do have a lot of kind of cool immediate future tour plans. Straight from here, we're actually all-nighting to New York City. There kind of a lot of cool things going on right now for us. You know, we've been an independent band for the last 8 years, and cool to finally kind of be shaking the right hands. We'll see where that goes. But in the very immediate future, right after that, we're meeting Seven Dust in New Orleans to do a one-off with them.
The House of Blues, which is really
it's
cool
going to be,
out there.
That's mixed in with some headlining shows in Texas, Louisiana area. We're also picking up a bunch of shows with 10 Years and Filter as well. And that'll put us, I think, into mid-November, and then we're kind of slowing down till the end of the year. So.
That's awesome.
So, define success for me. Like, what would be you guys' definition of success? Like, as a band, like, what would you say?
Yeah. This is a funny question. I actually just went to a personality test thing with my fiance the other day, which little personal fact. And it was one of those things where you take a personality test and you see your strengths and you see, you know, your spouse or your fiance's strengths. And it was a really enlightening, interesting thing. But the reason I bring that up is I found out that one of my personality qualities was that I guess I never find full satisfaction because I always want to keep achieving more, which in some ways that's great. It's a productive quality to have, but sometimes, you know, having that quality, you never really stop and smell the roses and enjoy the moment because you're so focused on what are we going to do next? How can we get bigger? How can we get better? So that's my downfall. But I would say for us as a whole, though, I don't know, success is kind of like, I don't know. I feel like we have success at every day. I mean, like if any of us were to die at any moment, I think like every day we have a victory, you know. Hopefully we don't do that, you know.
Yeah. And I agree with Johnny. It's really easy to always look to the future and want to grow to something else. But, you know, I look at this, the record we just released this last June, and, you know, the fact that it was self-produced with, you know, Johnny really heading that up. It's like, I personally feel so successful about that. You know, like every day's a success. Like we're able to travel around and do what we love. And, you know, as far as wanting more, really just taking it to the next level of national touring, something we kind of broke into this last year, and just making things, you know, slightly more sustainable for us as, you know, financially. And
the fact that we don't have real jobs, I think, is like baseline success. And then everything on top of that is, you know, layers of the cake.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, and really getting to talk to people after shows also who just love what you do and encourage you and your art's one of the most amazing things also.
I'm sure you guys get people that are, you know, how do I say this, that they feel something when they listen to some of your songs. Like I'm sure if people are listening to, you know, I'll Be Okay, or, you know, even Jenny, like people probably can relate to that kind of stuff. And that, I mean, that's got to feel really good to be able to touch people in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's going to be really good.
No, absolutely. That, like Dan was saying, to me, I wish I would have said that. That's actually the real success, I think, in all of it. The fact that we can do this and we're traveling and making it work, you know, that's kind of the functional side that has to happen. But when someone comes up to us at a show afterwards and tells me some story that just blew my mind, or even if it's something simple, you know, and how it touched them, every night I always walk away with chills, just like, wow. I never would have thought my life would have met that person with that story, because they heard this song that we worked on in my room, you know,
Yeah.
at one point, and then it just starts. It's just amazing what this little seed of inspiration and creativity and excitement that we had, and then how it turns into just this network of building a family across the nation, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's got to feel great, guys. Like, you guys are doing really good right now with all these awesome songs that you guys have now on this new
Thanks.
album.
No, thank you.
So, tell me something, let's say, the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you guys on stage or just on tour, really. Like, what's the most embarrassing thing that you can think of that's happened to you?
Oh, there's quite a few. Hey, what's up? Got some friends coming to the show tonight. Okay, I know, like, one thing that always sticks out to me is how many times each of us have personally wiped out on stage.
Yeah, I was thinking of that same thing.
I like to, you know, if you've seen the show, I usually get, like, pretty hot and overheat, like, third or fourth song into the set. So I like to, you know, pour water on my neck or my hair. And a lot of times, especially if it's a slick stage, Daniel, he's told me personally that he's going to punch me in the face the next time he slips on my water. But if it gets wet, I know Dan one time just, like, I don't know, you like pulled your groin or something doing splits.
Yeah, it's like, whoop, you know, ruined my night. I'm like, oh, my leg, you know. I have an old baseball injury that just never healed right. Yeah, and I'm like, if you do that one more time, Johnny, I'm going to punch you in the face as hard as I can. And, you know, it was half in jest, but
we've all wiped out pretty badly on stage.
Yeah, I remember one time, one of my worst falls, and probably the most embarrassing thing is, we used to have this song called Black Track 1, and it was this stupid, like, funk song that we wrote. This was years ago. And we're playing probably in front of, like, 300 kids on the campus of A&M in Texas in College Station. And I used to give this big gospel speech at the beginning. And the whole thing was dependent on me, you know. It's like, and the Lord said, and I'd do a hit. And on the first hit, like, I lost my balance, and I smoked a pipe when I played at the time. Like, it went skittering across the concrete. And I just had to get myself back up and situated before I could, you know, continue with everything. So that was pretty bad.
So let's hope there's no falls tonight. No,
hopefully not.
Nobody getting punched in the face.
Yeah, you never know. It's funny when we fall, because, like, I'll be like, why isn't there any guitar? And I'll look over to Mark, and I just see legs, like, straight up in the air.
So, I mean, you guys see we're by the van. This is what they tour in right here.
Yeah, we live in this thing.
Sweet van, yeah. So, what are some things that you have to have with you on the road?
Man, food, obviously.
Yeah, food,
you have
water.
tons of food, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of snacks.
we're well stocked right now.
You gotta have food, gotta have toothpaste, you know, deodorant, all the usual toiletry stuff. But one thing, you know, just it's all the little things really on the road that make it, like, are the difference makers, whether it's like this horrible experience or somewhat, you know, livable. And those are, like, you know, we got a care package the last tour, and it had, like, all these, you know, like, baby wipes and lotion and, like, disinfectant, you know, that kind of stuff. That's kind of the stuff that we don't ever pack, but we always need it. So
yeah,
when we get that kind of stuff,
and it's always women that buy us those things.
Yeah.
You know, like when I found the baby wipes, it's like, what? This is like showering almost. You know, which we rarely come across sometimes.
Yeah,
so
rarely come across from showers.
You know, so many times it's just drive all night to the venue, load in, play the show, and then it's off to the next one. And
I've developed a sink shower technique. I'm gonna come out with, like, a DVD series where I show you how to just get it done. And I can pretty much take a shower in a sink.
That's pretty legit.
With enough paper towels and some mouthwash. That's all I need.
nice.
Mouthwash, paper towels, and a sink.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's it. That's it.
So, I know that last time we spoke, we talked about, you know, some of the meanings behind some of the songs on the album. You know, one thing I didn't ask was, what is the most personal to you?
Each of us individually probably have a different one. So I guess I'll start and then Dan say his. But It's really hard to narrow down to one for me. Jenny and God Went North are the most personal, both of those. And God Went North is, about my mom who passed away from cancer, and we wrote that song after she'd passed away. The song Gone on the Few Not Fleeting was written, I don't know, somewhere about a year before she passed, or about 6 months, something like that. So it's kind of, there's a before and after song to that whole process. I'd say God Went North for me.
God Went North.
Yeah.
Yeah, super tough one for me as well. I don't know. I don't know. In a lot of ways, I'd say Christ Copyright almost, just because we all grew up in the church. But there was like a year of my life where I lived in Nashville, and for whatever reason, I just got involved in this like awful group of people like that, and it was tough. It's
church.
Yeah, it's when it's something you want to believe in and you're in the wrong group of it, it can just really put a bad taste in your mouth when it's done completely wrong.
Yeah.
Because you're still on their team, but at the same time, like after affliction after affliction, it's just like screw you guys. Like anyway, so that's probably mine right now. So. It changes every week, though,
Every week,
yeah, every time I listen to the album or play the song. It's like, wait, this is my favorite song.
So, what is the biggest, obstacle, being an up-and-coming band, that you guys have found? I mean, you guys have been around for a long time, but what, now that you guys, you just mentioned that you just now started doing national touring. So what's, the biggest obstacle you've had or are facing?
The first one, and I think this is for any band, is, okay, how do we make money to actually get this going to where we can do it long enough to actually make a name for ourselves? Because when you start off, with anything, I mean, it's it's all about the music, but in a way, it is a business in the sense that we have to pay for this thing, and it breaks a lot, we have to buy merchandise and equipment fixes and all that. So really just the infrastructure and making it work while having to also go home and pay bills, because everything is we like to reinvest everything as much as we can, so that we can just build it, and then one day reap the rewards of that. But other than that, I'd say just personally being away from ones you love, that's always really tough.
Yeah, and I think another huge thing, something that we've been pretty good about, is just inner band relations between each other. We're around each other all the time, from the most tired moments to the most joyful, and it's easy to let little things get in the way and cause rifts and things like that. So we're we're fortunate enough that we're all really good friends and are able to just stay up till sunrise from time to time fighting, and at the end of it, it's like, you know what, you're right too. I love you. Let's conquer the world.
Drunken fights.
We've had some epic
night where we're all
fights.
drunk. We're just like, you know what? I hate you.
Yeah, and we're all trying to load the trailer together. It's like we're still having to work together. It's like, take this stupid drum.
Yeah, love and hate, all over the place.
So, if you guys could go back in time, well, I don't want to say in time, if you guys could just go back and write any song from any other band, or even a pop artist, what would you have written?
Oh man, you're gonna have to give me a moment.
That's
you need to put up a little intermission, while we think on this one. Back in time.
It doesn't have to be an old song. I mean, you could be one that's on top 40 right now.
Okay.
Anything.
If I could have a song credited to me, it'd probably be Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles.
I was just thinking that. That's funny. Yeah. I was singing that and Bullet on Butterfly Wings. Is that the name of Smashing Pumpkins song? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that for me. But
Smashing Pumpkins and the Beatles. What about a top 40 song? Give us a Justin Bieber,
So something current?
Yeah, something current.
Man. What is current?
I don't listen to the radio, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately. Oh man, what's something good that's come out?
Well, what would be your song?
What would be my song?
Yeah.
Oh man, that is hard, man. I'm supposed to be asking you guys a question.
Yeah. Maybe it'll spark some ideas.
Okay, this isn't super recent, but it's recent enough, and it's poppy enough. But Avril Lavigne, there's a song called "Losing Grip."
Losing Grip by Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's it's Avril Lavigne, but this song is like really good actually, or at least I like it.
Yeah,
I don't know if everybody in the band would agree.
Yeah, that was a good album.
I think I could call mine probably any Justin Timberlake song. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That guy's
call.
just super talented, can do anything.
I agree with that.
His music's
Actually,
killer. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have respect for him as well. Actually, yeah.
I'll just say "Skater Boy" by Avril Lavigne to leave us in that.
We got some Avril Lavigne fans.
Yeah.
There goes all
We're
our
sending
respect.
this to all of her fans. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's really all that I had for you guys. What do you guys want to tell your fans?
Hello. I don't have anything prepared, but I guess buy the record if you want. Go to our website, it's nothingmore.net, or just Google Nothing More. But if you're watching this, you probably have already done that. So, yeah, hello.
Yeah, we're about rock, we're about people, and bringing joy to children around the world.
When did we become these sinking stones? When did we build this broken home? Holding each other like ransom notes, dropping our hearts to grip our words. Can't see your road, couple over me, your own shadows stuck inside. How long do you ever stop to ask yourself?